kind of tricked myself into thinking I'm in survival mode when I'm not. First off, life is great. You know what I'm saying? All blessings, all thanks to the Most High. Things are amazing. But, I feel like I was in survival mode for so long that it's become my norm, and I don't allow myself to fully step out of it and just enjoy certain things. I'm a father, a single father, and I do my content and run my business. So my life is really like father flow and then business flow. Father flow, content flow. Father flow, connect with the Most High flow. It's a lot of responsibility, discipline, and not enough serendipity. You understand? The amount of times I have friends call me and be like, "Hey, let's go get a boat today. We have a boat. Come join us." And I'm like, "Oh no, I can't. I gotta buckle down." Or a friend will hit me up and say, "Hey, we should go take a trip here." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that sounds good." And then I'm like, "Oh no. I got so much to do." Or I'll make plans with people, legit. And then come Thursday, I'm like, "Oh no, I better just, do what I gotta do." And over time, I'm realizing, hey, you're not allowing yourself to fully live life. Why is that? Now, at the end of July, something interesting happened. I could literally feel in my spirit, the Most High, the Creator, say to me, "I need you to cancel pretty much majority of your responsibilities in August." And I was like, "What?" No. I literally said no. And then I felt it again. I'm like, that doesn't make no sense. Like, we have so much we're doing right now. If I do that, A is going to happen, B is going to happen, C is going to happen. And that just doesn't work according to my plan. And I just ignored it. And then I'm like, I'm going to work even harder. And then my software crashes. Lose about a day or two trying to figure it out, kind of get it working again. And then my hard drive crashes. And I was like, you know what? This isn't a sign. Just the enemy is trying to take me out. That's literally what I said. I'm like, the enemy is trying to take me out. So I'm like, I'm going to work harder. I could be a crazy person sometimes. So I start to work harder. And then guess what happens? Guess. Just take one guess. My camera breaks. Legit, my camera, a $5,000 camera that I bought 1 year ago that I barely even bring outside, has like no wear and tear on it, breaks. So then I'm like, yo, okay. What were you saying again about taking a break? What were you saying again about taking a break? Maybe I'm gonna listen to that. Because I felt so defeated. I really didn't even have the motivation, to move forward. And I was like, what? Stop posting videos. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna take a break. And during this break, although I've taken breaks before, but the thing is, when I take breaks, I'm still thinking, I'm still doing, I'm still, so many responsibilities. I was really trying to take a break where I just let go of all expectations. And while I'm taking this mini break, I'm questioning, why do you trick yourself into being in survival mode? Yeah, for, a good portion of your life, you were there and, times were hard at times, and that's okay. But things aren't like that anymore. And I sat on it and I meditated on it, and then I observed, I reflected, and then I prayed on it, because when we ask, we shall receive. And then I realized a lot of the things that I've done, I haven't even celebrated. Like, if I could actually, again, today I need your ears, okay? I need your ears. Today is all about you helping me. If I could tell you everything I've done in the past 18 months, I've done so much. My life has changed, so many amazing things. The amount of people that contact me and say hey, your channel or your podcast has changed my life, or the amount of celebrities or big brands that be in my DMs is wild. And I don't tell nobody, I don't celebrate it with anybody. I just put my head down and keep going. And I'm like, that is so disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? That is so disrespectful that you're still not celebrating a lot of the accomplishments that you've had. And better yet, it's so disrespectful that you're not taking the necessary rest because you deserve it. You understand? And then I felt that voice and that feeling again within my spirit. And I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. I'm going to totally let go. And I'm not doing anything right now. And a couple days later, I randomly checked my YouTube because I wasn't even looking at my comments. And I'm like, man, my analytics are probably horrible right now because I haven't posted this and that. And then to my surprise, there's like old videos that were taking off again. Actually, my channel had more views this month when I'm not posting versus last month when I posted like 4 or 5 videos. And I'm like, wow, look at that. And then I felt a deep sense of comfort and love come over my spirit and just say, I told you, I have it taken care of, you understand? And I was like, you know, like I felt upset for my lack of faith in that moment, you understand? Well, not in that moment, but previously by trying to overdo myself and technically not operating out of love, or faith, but you know, operating out of my own fear, like, oh, if I don't do this, this will happen. If I don't do this, this bad thing will happen. And ultimately, it kind of almost robbed my summer. It's been summertime and I haven't done a lot of the things that I said I would do. And this has been a problem in my life. So I'm trying to figure out how I can bring more joy into my days, more serendipity, more times where I can say, hey, you know what? It's okay to put the responsibility down for a moment, you understand? And live life. Because what happens when we live life, you understand? We have experiences. And where do those experiences go? Back into our creativity, into our engagements, you understand? Into our relationships. Like the love you have for your family, or just going out for dinner with a friend and having a focused and present conversation, you understand? There's love there, and we need to embark on these journeys and, you know, get outside a little more. I realized I just booked flights to Jamaica, which is going to be an amazing experience. I'm so excited for that. Thank you to the Most High for making that happen. I am just beyond excited for this trip. But what I realized is, again, when we trick ourselves into thinking that like we are in survival mode 24/7, we lose sight of the actual abundance there is in life, you understand? And I'm not just talking about possessions, right? But the love that is there for us, the guidance, you understand? The gifts. I believe every single one of us was given a gift. Every single one of us was given a gift. And it takes time, patience, belief, confidence to cultivate that gift, share it, illuminate it with others. And for me, that's really all I care about doing. But a necessary part of expressing that gift is genuine joy. You understand? Turning off all the problems of the world, because let's be honest, the world has been crazy. You understand? There's a lot of things to be worried about. But one thing for sure, there's a lot of love as well. You understand? There's a lot of good times we can create right now in our life. There's people in our life we can pick up the phone with and reconnect with them. You understand? People who we can have a good laugh with. It's important that we love the life that we're living and that we're living the life that we love. You understand? That creates good energy. And for me, I try to think back, well, where did this survival mode really stem from? And it was really just, you know, wanting to provide. You know, I became a father very young, and, you know, that's a scary thing. So I just wanted to make sure that I could be in a position one day to give my daughter everything that she needs, and in a position one day to really give back to the people who made sacrifices in my life, because there's people who made sacrifices and did things for me that allow me to be in the position I am in. And that is why I work so hard. And I actually think, you know what, that's an okay thing. But it's important that we look into our lives and see what is lacking, what is missing, because we want to be whole individuals, you understand? We're not going to be perfectly balanced all the times, but we must be very careful we're not living like this, right? It's okay if we're like this and we're teeter-tottering, then, you know, sometimes we hit that perfectly balanced stride. But I was like this, you know, like no joy, all responsibility. And when you get into that zone, there's less creativity there, there's less magic, there's less hope. And I don't ever want to let that go. So I just wanted to share that with you today. I really didn't hop on here to give you a message, but just to reflect and to release. And maybe some of you can relate. Maybe some of us, we have a similar issue where we just don't allow ourselves to fully just live. You understand? It's work, or whatever it may be. But I want to remind you that you deserve a little bit of time for yourself, right? That self-love is service. And there's people who have all the money in the world, but yet they still have no time. Time is a gift, right? Your presence is the real gift. So you done know in hindsight, everything is gonna be all right. It's a vibe thing, and we power by who? We power by Share. It's time to be in thriving mode, not survival mode. Thriving mode. Let's get it.